Hello students, welcome to our computer class. In today's class we will revise chapter 1, that is hardware components of a computer, which already we have learned. So let's start. What is hardware component? So hardware is a physical part of any computer which can be seen and touched. The hardware components of a computer can be external or internal. That means two type of hardware components are there. One is external hardware component, another one is internal hardware component. So external hardware components are attached to the computers externally. Attached to the computer in the sense attached to the system unit, means CPU cabinet. Externally either through wire or without wire. And internal hardware components are inside a computer. That means the system unit or CPU cabinet houses all internal hardware components. So let us discuss about few external hardware components. So some external hardware components of a computer are monitor, keyboard, mouse, printer, scanner, USB flash drive, modem, and ports. So first, monitor. This is one picture as given. A computer monitor displays the result of a process. So it is also called a visual display unit, which is the good name of monitor. The display can be in the form of text, images, and videos. The information displayed on a monitor is known as soft copy. Because when we will switch off our computer or monitor, we will not get back the output. Computer monitors are available in various sizes and types. Sizes in the sense 14-inch monitor, 15-inch monitor, 18-inch monitor, 21-inch monitor, etc. And based on the technology used to display the image or text on the monitor, monitor can be of three types: CRT monitor, LCD monitor, and LED monitor. Nowadays, we generally use LED monitor, and CRT monitors are not available in the market also. Then keyboard, the essential input device for any computer. It allows you to input letters, numbers, and other symbols into a computer. It has different keys that can be used to perform different functions. Keyboard contains generally 105 to 112 keys, and these keys are categories in different category. At the center of the keyboard, many keys are there for alphabets and numbers. They are called alphanumeric keys, generally used to type text in the computer. And at the right hand side of your keyboard, you will find one pad contains all the digits from 0 to 9 and few arithmetic operators: plus, minus, star, slash, and enter. These are used for entering the numbers and do some calculation on that. Here you will find some arrow keys: left arrow key, right arrow key, up arrow key, down arrow key, home, end, page up, page down. These keys are used to move the cursor in a file from one place to another place. So they are called navigation keys. At the top of your keyboard, you will find F1 to F12, 12 function keys. These function keys, they have different functionality based on the software. So we can use these function keys for some specific functions, like F1 to get help for any application, F5 to execute something, F12 to save a file with different name. And on our keyboard, you will find some special keys like escape key, shift key, enter key, caps lock key, windows key. And in few keyboard, you will find some buttons here at the top of the keyboard to control the multimedia application and video audio files. They are called multimedia keys. The next important input device is mouse, which is a pointing device to point or select something from the monitor in GUI environment. A mouse controls the movement of a cursor on the screen. So when we move our mouse on a flat surface, a corresponding arrowhead will move on your screen to select or point something. It is used to select various objects on the screen. The mouse has a left button and a right button. So this is left button, this is right button. Mostly we are using left button to perform anything, but sometimes we use right button also to select some options from a context menu, which will appear when you will click this button anywhere on your screen. We can give instruction to a computer by clicking these two buttons. There is a control wheel button between these two buttons to scroll the page up and down like this. To know the functions of these three buttons. Now the printer, the next important output device. A printer is used to print text or images on a sheet of paper. As the output given by a printer is on a sheet of paper, therefore this output is known as hard copy, which is available even after the computer or monitor is switched off. Printers are mainly of two types: impact printers and non-impact printers. So this classification is based on the technology used to print the image or text on paper. Impact printer. These printers use a print head to strike on an ink ribbon to give an impression on a sheet of paper. Dot matrix printer is an example of this type of printer. Daisy wheel printer, drum printers are other example of impact printer, where we will find a hammer-like print head which will strike on the ink ribbon, and at the opposite side of the ink ribbon you will get the impression on the paper. Non-impact printer. This printer do not use print head to strike an ink ribbon to give an impression on a sheet of paper. Instead of that, here we use heat, pressure, light to print the image or text on paper. They make less sound while working than the impact printers, and it gives a better quality printout than impact printer. Inkjet printers, laser printers are example of non-impact printers. So these are the pictures of three printers commonly used nowadays: dot matrix printer, inkjet printer, and laser printer. The laser printer is the expensive printer which gives the best quality printout. So now scanner. This is one input device which helps to scan an image or printed text and convert it into a digital image. Suppose you have one picture on a paper, like Sachin Tendulkar's picture, which you want to insert in your computer. So that is not possible because the picture is on a paper. So you can use a scanner device to scan the picture and convert that picture to digital image to save it in your computer as a file, which can be used in future. It is used to input graphic information into a computer. There are different type of scanners: flatbed scanner, barcode scanner. Flatbed scanner, a picture is given here. The flatbed scanner has a flat surface on which the document or image to be scanned is placed. It scans the picture, convert that picture to digital image, and send that picture as an input to a computer where we can save it. Next, barcode scanner. I hope you saw this barcode scanner in shopping mall to find out the product's information from the barcode. So barcode is a group of vertical lines or bars. These bars contains information about the product on which it is printed. The barcode scanner scans the barcode and sends the information stored in it to the computer. Generally, it contains the information about the product name, price, manufacturer, date of manufacturing, etc. Next is USB flash drive. A USB flash drive, which is commonly called pen drive, is a form of reusable storage device. USB flash drives are available with different storage capacities ranging from 4 GB to 512 GB. This is commonly used secondary storage media which we can use to transfer a file from one device to another device. Next, modem. This is the picture of modem. Modem stands for modulator demodulator. A modem is a device that converts digital information into analog and vice versa. This process of converting digital information into analog information and vice versa is called modulation demodulation. So the device which performs this modulation and demodulation is called modulator demodulator, or in short, modem. This is used to transmit data after converting the data. We use this device to connect our computer to a telephone line, because when we access internet, the signal or information comes through telephone line, and telephone line carries analog signal which our digital computer cannot understand. So when we receives any analog signal in modem converts that analog signal into digital signal so that our computer can understand. And when from our computer we send some digital information to internet, so that time this modem converts that digital information to analog information and send it to the telephone line, and telephone line carries that analog signal. So there are two types of modem. One is internal modem, another one is external modem. Internal modem plugged on the motherboard, which is present inside the CPU cabinet, and external modem, externally we have to connect to the port. Some wireless modems are also there, which generally use Wi-Fi technology to connect to the computer. Wi-Fi is a technology that uses radio waves to provide network connectivity wirelessly. Then port. A computer port is a connection point between a computer and an external or internal devices. These are the small sockets where we can connect our devices. Ports are of two types: internal ports and external ports. Internal ports connect devices such as hard disk drives, CD, DVD drives, etc. And external ports connects devices such as modems, printers, pen drives. Those are present outside of the computer, either using wire or without wire. Then internal hardware components means the hardware components, those are present inside the system unit. Some internal hardware components of a computer are motherboard, processor, disk drive, sound card, graphics card, SMPS, etc. First of all, motherboard, the most important internal hardware components. It is the main circuit board of a computer. A circuit board is a board on which printed or integrated circuits are fixed. So when you will open system unit, you will find this circuit board with many small tiny devices installed on that. These integrated circuits are the other internal hardware components that are connected to the motherboard. Here we install RAM, and this is the place where the microprocessor will be placed. Then processor or microprocessor. This is the brain of the computer. Is also called central processing unit. It's a small silicon chip located inside a computer on the motherboard. It performs operation depending upon the instruction given to it. It performs all different type of arithmetic and logical operations. The CPU has three main components. These are arithmetic logic unit ALU, control unit CU, and the memory or storage unit MU. Then what is ALU? Arithmetic logic unit. This is the main important part of CPU. ALU does all type of arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and so on. And it also performs all the logical operations such as one value is greater than another or not, less than or not, equal to or not. So arithmetic and logic unit is the main processor of CPU which performs all the arithmetical and logical operations. Then memory unit or storage unit. So this unit stores data and instruction temporarily that are used for processing and sometimes intermediate results also during ALU's operation. CU, the control unit, is an important part of CPU. It manages and controls the activities of all other units. All other unit means arithmetic, logic unit and memory unit. CU send the input data to this memory unit before processing, then it send this data to this ALU for processing. During ALU's operation, if any intermediate result generates that data, again it stores in memory unit, and finally the final result, which is the processed information, will be sent out of the CPU. So in CPU, all process will be controlled by CU. That's why the name is control unit. Then disk drive. This is a physical drive in a computer that is capable of storing and reading data. It includes CD, DVD drives, hard disk drive, pen drives, etc. Hard disk drive, in short HDD, is the hardware device that contains the hard disk of a computer. Hard disk is made up of small CD-like disks. They are called platters. So we cannot separate this hard disk or platters from the hard disk drive. It can store a large amount of data and all the softwares inside the computer. Its size is up to 3 TB. So this hard disk drive is small in size but capable of storing large data. This is fixed inside the CPU unit. That's why it is also called the fixed disk. Then compact disk, CD. It is commonly used storage device. It can store up to 700 MB of data in the form of picture, sound, video, text, etc. A CD is mainly of two types, CD-R and CD-RW, but another type is also there which is not given in your book, CD-ROM. So CD-ROM means compact disk read-only memory, where already data is present in the form of text, picture or video, which computer can only read, like ebook CD, software CD, game CD, movie CD, song CD. Okay, where already data is present, computer can read. We cannot erase or rewrite the data on this type of disk. Then CD-R, compact disk recordable, is a recordable CD. Data can be written on this type of CD only once, and after that it becomes CD-ROM. This CD cannot be used for rewriting. So this is blank CD which is available on the market to store data on it once. Then last one is CD-RW, compact disk rewritable. So data can be rewritten on this CD after erasing the stored data. Means you can store data on it, you can read data, and even you can erase the data to rewrite on it. DVD, another type of disk, digital versatile disk. This is looks like CD but capable of storing 4.7 GB of data. For DVD also we have three type of disk. One is DVD ROM, then next one is DVD recordable, and last one is DVD rewritable. So to perform read and write operation to this CD and DVD, we need drive, CD drive and DVD drive, or sometimes CD writer or DVD writer. So computer uses these drives to perform read and write operation to the secondary memories. Then sound card. Sound card is a hardware component that enables a computer to produce sound. Without sound card, computer cannot produce any sound. Usually a sound card is built into the motherboard. The sound from a computer can be heard through headphones or speaker. Any audio and video files will not play the sound unless the computer has a sound card installed. Then graphics card. The graphics card is a hardware component that controls the display of graphics such as pictures, videos on a monitor. A graphics card is built into the motherboard. This is known as graphics adapter or graphics controller. This is a picture of one high definition graphics card. Then SMPS, a very important hardware component. SMPS stands for switch mode power supply. It is an electronic circuit that provides the well-regulated power to the motherboard, and from motherboard the power will be distributed among all internal and external hardware components. It also stabilizes the voltage. So we have learned few internal and external hardware components. Now we have to find out the differences. In two columns differences are given: external component, internal components. So external components are attached to the computer externally, whereas internal components are present inside a computer. External components can be easily detached from the computer and carried from one place to another place, which is not possible for internal components because these components are placed inside the system unit. So you cannot take out these internal components to carry from one place to another place easily. The external components are connected to the motherboard with the help of wires or cables, sometimes without cable, wirelessly. And these internal components are directly connected to the motherboard. Some examples of external hardware components are monitor, keyboard, mouse, pen drives, and so on. And examples of internal hardware components are motherboard, processor, disk drive, sound cards, and so on. So student, we have revised this chapter 1, and I hope all you have purchased your computer book. Now this is the time to revise this chapter. So I will suggest to read this chapter thoroughly line by line so that you will be able to answer the short questions in your exam. So today up to this much. In our next class we will start the chapter Excel. So till then, bye. Have a nice day.